Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Cumulative Test 15A Review Notes Part 2, and I'm going to go ahead and start with 12. If each edge of a cube is 5 centimeters, what is the volume of the cube? So if I were to draw the cube, I would know that each edge, this is 5, and this is 5. I know that volume is equal to length times width times height, and you're writing all of this down. 5 times 5 times 5, which is equal to 125. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the next page. Okay, 13. Find the circumference of each of these circles. Again, this is one that I got lots of questions on for the last test, so please write everything I write down. So there are two circumference formulas. There's 2 times pi times r, and then there's pi times diameter. So depending on whether you have diameter or radius, you choose which one of these that you need. For both of these problems, you have your radius. Okay, so let's go ahead and do A. For A, I have a radius of 21. It says pi is equal to 22 over 7. So I'm going to use the circumference is equal to 2 pi r. I'm going to plug in what I have. So I have 2 times 22 over 7. I get lots of questions about how to use the fraction. Please write this down. Times 21 over 1. So there's my radius, there's my pi, there's 2. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 2 times 22 times 21 all over 1 times 7 times 1. Let me plug that into my handy dandy calculator. 2. So I get 924 divided by 7. Again, this looks like this. If you need to see it a different way, these are the same. Divided by 7. 132. Okay, I'm going to erase this and do B. Okay, so 13B, radius is going to be equal to 20. It says leave pi as pi. I'm going to use circumference is equal to 2 times pi times radius. So I have 2 times pi times 20. I know I can multiply 2 times 20, so that's going to be 40 pi. If you leave the pi off, it is wrong. If you were going to type this into Schoology, you could always type the word pi. All right, on 14, on your paper, I would like to see these arrows, every one of these arrows, all of these arrows. For some reason, we're not writing these arrows down, and people are still getting these wrong. When I go from fraction to decimal, I divide, and I'm going to show you how to do that here in a second. When I go from decimal to percent, I multiply times 100. When I go the other direction, from percent to decimal, I divide by 100. And when I go from decimal to fraction, I use place value, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. Let me go ahead and change colors here so there's no confusion. So on 14, I'm given 1/6 as my fraction, and I want to take that to a decimal. You will be writing all of this down. To do that, I need to divide 1 by 6. Okay? When I divide 1 by 6, I get a repeating decimal. I get 0.1666, and it continues on and on and on. Okay? So for my answer, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give 2 decimals. You can either do 0.16 or 0.17. Either of these is valid. Okay, I'm going to erase and do, well, we can do percent. That's fine. So this is A. B, I take what I get from A, 0.16, and I multiply by 100 to get 16%. You can do 16.6%. You can do 16.7%. I prefer you don't do 17% because that's not true. Any of these will work, okay? All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do 14C. we're given 0.45 as our decimal, and we're trying to get back to fraction. I always say that that's place value. So this is 45 hundredths. This is the tenths place. This is the hundredths place. So this is going to be 45 over 100. I know I'm going to have to reduce this. So let's divide by 5. I get 9 over 20. That's as far as that's going to go. And then D, if I take 0.45 and I multiply it by 100, I will get 45%. And that's my answer. Please make sure you ask questions when you don't understand. Let's take a look at 15. Had some questions about this on the last test. This is 10 times m minus m times y minus y squared. So I'm going to have to do this one first, where m is 10 and y is 6. So let me just plug these in, actually. So we have 10 times 10, sorry. Let me erase that. I don't want any confusion whatsoever there. So we have 10 times 10, because m is 10, minus 10 times 6 minus 6 squared. Okay, so 10 times 10 is going to give me 100, minus 10 times 6 is 60, minus 36, right? Because this is 6 times 6. All right, 100 minus, I have to do the 60 minus 36 first. So I get 24. From here, I get 24. 100 minus 24 is 76. So that would be my answer. Please let me know if you have any questions about that. I'm going to change colors and do 16. 16 is 2/3 m is equal to 18. So I know I need to multiply by the reciprocal. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Okay, so this is going to cancel, and I'm going to get m. And then I have 18 times 3 over 1 times 2. So that's, let's see, 18 times 3 is 54. Divided by 2. Again, this is 2 into 54. These are the same, if you need to write it differently. That's 27. Okay, again, you're writing everything that I write. I'm going to go ahead and do 17 here underneath 17. So here I would subtract 3.4. Subtract 3.4. I think most of you got this last time. We can put 0.0 there. N is going to come down. This is going to go away. My equals is going to come down. 7 minus 3.4 is 3.6. Okay, and that would be my answer. Okay, ooh, fun. 18. We have 3 3/4 divided by 1 2/3. Is that plus 2 1/2? I'm going to go with plus. So I have to do this first. 1 2/3 plus 2 1/2. When I'm adding or subtracting, I need a common denominator. Okay, so I'm going to use 6. So let's see, 1, that would be times 2 times 2, so that's 4. That is a 4 on top of the 6. Plus 2 times 3 times 3. So I have 4 plus 3 is 7/6. 1 plus 2 is 3. I'm going to leave this way because I have to plug it back in. So I have 3 3/4 divided by 3 7/6. I'm going to have to popcorn. So I have 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15, divided by 6 times 3 is 18, plus 7 is 25. Now I keep change flip. So keep my 15 over 4, change my divide to multiply, flip. Oh no, what happened? Sorry. I need my pen. Okay, cool. I don't know what's happening here. There we go. Times 6/25. Okay, from here I can reduce it, but some of you are not comfortable with that. So I have 15 times 6/4 times 25. 15 times 6 is 90. 4 times 25 is 100. If I take my zeros out, I get 9/10, and that's my answer to 18. Looks like I'm going to have to do 19 underneath 19. So here I have a subtraction problem. Please write these rules on your notes. Please write these rules on your notes. Addition rules. 1. Same sign. Add, keep the sign. 2. Different sign. Subtract, keep the sign of the larger. Okay? Subtraction rules. 1. Keep, change. 2. Addition rules. Okay, so here I have a keep, change. So this is -7 plus a +4. That's going to give me, since they're opposite signs, 7 minus 4 is 3. I take the sign of the larger, and then I'm going to bring this down. So this is addition. We have the same sign, so I add 3 plus 3 is 6, and I keep the sign. The last question is, this rectangular piece of metal swings around. As it spins through space, what is the shape? It's a cylinder. Sometimes they'll use a piece of metal that is a triangle, and you can get a cone, but it's either this or the triangle. Please let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you're writing all of the notes.